Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called Pope Leo XIV earlier today following that incident yesterday where Israeli tank fire hit Gaza's only Catholic church, the Church of the Holy Family, as you say, killing 3 people, injuring around a dozen, including the priest there. Now, the Vatican has given a readout of that phone call saying that Pope Leo again urged Netanyahu for an immediate ceasefire and calling also for negotiations to permanently end the war. This followed intense criticism around this hit on this church. And today we've seen Israel take this rare step of allowing 2 senior Catholic leaders actually into Gaza. Cardinal Pizzaballa, who is the Patriarch of Jerusalem and who was actually a candidate to become the next pope during the recent conclave, and also his Greek Orthodox counterpart, Theophilus III. They've been allowed in. Obviously, Gaza has been under Israeli blockade for many months now. The Vatican says that they were also allowed to bring in tons of aid. We've seen them also walking around the Gaza Strip today. And actually, Cardinal Pizzaballa said that as he was entering Gaza, he received a call from Pope Leo, who said that it was time for the slaughter to stop and saying that what has happened is unjustifiable. All of this following condemnation from a number of countries, including the United States. We've heard also that President Trump called Netanyahu last night to express his displeasure over this hit that hit this church, Diane. I mean, look, Diane, Israel has expressed regret about the strike. It's apologized and it has said that it never deliberately targets civilians or places of worship. But the fact is that what happened to the church is something that we do see routinely in Gaza. Many mosques have been hit in the course of the war. Hospital grounds are routinely hit. UN shelters that are holding hundreds, sometimes thousands of civilians are routinely hit. And most days now we're seeing dozens of Palestinians killed in Gaza. Since the weekend, we've seen well over 500 Palestinians killed, according to Gaza's health ministry. Now, Israel obviously says that these deaths are occurring when it's targeting Hamas fighters, but the result clearly at the moment is that very large numbers of Palestinians are being killed and that sites that are being run by civilian organizations are regularly being hit either in airstrikes or by tank fire. And so I think right now, while Israel expresses regret, there's very little reason to expect at the moment that the way it's operating in Gaza is going to change, Diane. Yeah, Diane, I mean, Israel Katz, Israel's defense minister, has a lot to talk about with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Obviously, they will be talking about Gaza. They'll be talking about Iran following the recent conflict there. And as we speak, this crisis in Syria continues to go on. Yesterday, we saw a ceasefire in Syria between the government there and this group, the Druze, which had prompted an intervention by Israel. Israel so far has not been beginning to strike Syria again as it has, but as we understand it, in the southern city of Sueda, where the clashes that began this crisis were happening today, there are reports of renewed violence, including atrocities. There are reports from one well-known human rights group that monitors casualties there that hundreds of people have been killed in the past few days. So clearly the violence is ongoing there and that crisis is not yet over, Diane.